Hey, welcome now to the weekend edition of Fresh Bread. This is Reverend Phil Anderson here with you, pastor of Oakland United Methodist Church and Kansas Avenue United Methodist Church. Saturday, August 19th, 2023. Hope you're having a good weekend and this is a good day for you. Don't forget to invite other people to listen to Fresh Bread here. We're doing a lot of different things right now in terms of trying to reach our neighbors and our members both, and it's kind of an and both. I've kind of become an and both person. If I wasn't already, I don't know, maybe at one time I was either or. It had to be one way or the other, and never the twain should meet. But I really feel like for me, it's and both. I like to build on the traditions in the church and also bring in new things rather than bringing in new things and throwing away everything in the past. So that would be kind of an either or proposition, either the traditions or the new, and never the twain should meet. I see room for both in the church. Also, in terms of reaching out to others, or do we take care of our members? Well, again, we could just reach out to others and really ignore the needs of our members and the people in the church. Or we could just reach out to our members and ignore the needs for the people in our neighborhood and our community. And so I look at it as and both. As we take care of the people in our church and we work to minister to them, we also want to worship or to minister to those who are in our neighborhood and our city. And so just a lot going on. And it's kind of that fine line that we're on. And so So many great things have happened, really the last few months, and would love to somehow, if I could do this, I'm not sure how to do it, but at some point I would like to just have this opportunity to maybe have an evening where it would just be unscripted, and I could really just share with you things that I would just love to share, things that I've learned in the last, I don't know, this year, let's just say, since 2023 rolled around. I learned stuff today, and I'm recording this on August the 13th, 2023. I learned some stuff even this afternoon, this evening, while I was recording this. I'll tell you, there's never a shortage of people interacting. We're going to have people interacting. As pastors, we are never going to be immune from people either wanting to tell us something or to ask us for something or to just sort of let us know they're there and they need a prayer or they need something. There's a lot of people that need, and I get it. I understand that. I will tell you that the request for people needing something outnumber those that are calling me up and ask me what they can do for me and can they pray for me? What can they do to bless me or help me, come alongside me? And this is just reality, folks. I'm not complaining. Trust me, I understand this is part of the game. But I would say it's about 100 to 1. I probably get 100 requests for help or somebody needing something to everyone that wants to come alongside and really help me out and make the load a little lighter for me. That's just the way it is as a pastor. So when you hear about pastors burning out and you read these statistics about pastors just getting fed up and burning out, that is what you don't know. That is what you probably don't hear. Why are the pastors burning out? You don't always hear why. You just hear that they are. Well, that's one of the reasons they are being bombarded with stuff. I mean, I'm at small churches. Can you imagine a pastor at a church of 500 or 1,000 people? I don't know how they do it. That's why they have these huge staffs. And you look at a church's website and you see they've got like 15 pastors and they've got like 2,500 people coming. I see why they do it. I'm not knocking that at all because, I mean, just to take care of the needs of the people, it's incredible. So I appreciate people sharing their needs with me. Please don't ever stop sharing your needs with me. I think at church on Sunday, this previous Sunday here, I had prayed, I think before I left the building, I think I prayed for 4 or 5 people with some different kinds of needs. And they didn't ask me necessarily to pray. They just shared some stuff with me and they asked me for prayer. Well, I was glad that they did. And I was able to pray with them. I don't mind that a bit. But I do get a lot of text messages during the day, messages on phone calls or voicemails or emails, and it's really, there's a lot of needs out there. I'll just tell you, there's a lot of people hurting and needing stuff, and I don't always have the answer for them, honestly, and that's where I need people to come alongside and help carry the load. So if you are so inclined, you feel like God's calling you to help the pastor, I would love it very much if you did come alongside. And, I kind of have to be on the same page with you, and you got to be on the same page with me. If you're going to be one of those that's really going to be a person that's going to be a great resource. I have a couple of people like that right now at the churches, but I have others that are really needy, and they want to help, but they're very needy. I have a couple of people, though, I can honestly say they don't ask for a lot. And if they did, I would stop what I was doing and give it to them, obviously, because they mean that much to me. And I appreciate their servant heart. I appreciate how they want to help. So I just shared that with you. I've really never shared that with anybody. If you're hearing this, and hey, you may be the only person that ever hears this, because I probably won't bring it up again for a while. But at some point, I would like to have like a Sunday evening potluck or a Saturday evening, and maybe it would just be Ask Pastor Phil or something. And, you could ask me questions. I do my best to answer them. And I can't say I'm going to do that perfectly, but I'll do the best I can. But especially as it relates to just sort of the things that I need help with, things that are going on in the life of the church. What am I seeing as needs? And again, what do we do from here? Where do we go from here? So the churches are God's great creation. That's the way the ministry and the mission of Christ is being carried out today, is through the church. So it's something I just love, and I love the people in the church. And like I said, sometimes there's a lot of needy people. I'm just glad that I can hopefully step up and help them out just a little bit, maybe a lot in some cases. I don't know, but anyway, it's a blessing to be able to step up and do what I can. And again, if you feel so inclined to reach out and just say, hey, I'd like to see what I can do to help you. Do you have anything I can do? Or can you train me? I've never had anybody really ask me that in those words. Would you train me to do something? That was part of our reason for starting that discipleship group back in April, on the 22nd of April, as I recall. And I still think that's going to happen. It may be in the fall that we do it. It may be in a different format than what I was planning. And if that's the case, so be it. We'll make it work somehow. I did tell you the other day that I've kind of gotten to the point of trying to keep my Saturdays now back to Saturdays as my blackout day. So we're on a Saturday today, and we were doing a lot of stuff on Saturdays, really for I guess, starting like in February, March, April, May, June, July, into August, and then we've kind of backed off. And I just found that people just really were wanting those Saturdays free. And I understand that. And there was a lot of time in my life, I was so busy with sports and stuff, I wouldn't have had time for it. So I pray that we'll be able to still do the things that God wants us to do, especially with our outreach ministries. Now, if God is calling you into an outreach ministry and you believe it's on a Saturday night, let's say 6 to 8, you want to do a hot dog feed, you got my blessing. And I'll do everything in my power to make it happen for you. So I need help. Don't be afraid to tell me what your dreams and your goals are, and we'll bring it to the administrative council, or else I'll just say, hey, go for it. I don't think we have time to waste. Just roll with it. So anyhow, a lot of interesting things going on. Tomorrow is going to be, of course, our worship services. We have Sunday school at 8:30 at Oakland, 9:30 at Kansas Avenue. Worship's at 9:30 at Oakland, 11 o'clock at Kansas Avenue. And we're going to be talking about Genesis 55. We're going to also skip over to Genesis 50 real briefly. Again, it's going to be looking at the life of Joseph. It's a 2-week study on Joseph. Man, we could spend 2 years on Joseph probably. What a great man, what a great example he was for us to keep focused on Christ, even in the midst of difficulties. So the sermon tomorrow is called, But God Meant It for Good. And it's one of those passages that actually comes up after our lectionary reading of Genesis 45. This section of Genesis 50, the last book of Genesis, has to do with Joseph as he is in Egypt now, second in command. So he tells his brothers who had sold him into slavery, you meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. We'll talk about that on Sunday tomorrow. So I hope you have a great day. Don't forget to come, if you possibly can make it, for church tomorrow. We'd love to see you. Invite a friend. Quickest way to double the church is and size of the church, I should say, is for everybody in the church to invite a friend. We double the church overnight. Amen. Wouldn't have to do any real effort. It would just be natural. And again, we really appreciate everybody's just being so faithful to both Oakland and Kansas Avenue United Methodist churches here in good old T-Town, the capital city of Kansas, Topeka. Well, friends, with that, I'll let you go. Hope you have a great rest of the day here on Saturday. And I do look forward to seeing you, God willing, tomorrow on Sunday, August the 20th. Till then, have a great day. God bless you. We'll talk to you soon.